think we might walk up to the U.S. Capitol today. Let's get pretty much dead center here. Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial. There you go. Pretty much dead center. Some ducks coming in for landing. And let's make our way over to, good morning. Let's make our way over to the, I'm going to go around the World War II Memorial. I'm missing that. Hello. Hey, John, how's it going, mate? John, I heard Thailand's in a lockdown again, or is that Vietnam? Vietnam's in a lockdown. I heard Shenzhen was in a lockdown. So there's the Kilroy was here, the graffiti put in by the artist. Sort of hid that behind the World War II Memorial. For those of you who don't know who are on HAPS or something, that's John Ho. John M. Ho is a broadcaster from Thailand who lives with his family after many years in Hong Kong and now lives in Thailand. So if you want to know what it's like to live in Thailand, you guys can follow John Ho here on haps.tv, or you can find John on other social media platforms as well. You're going to be in DC this weekend. Oh, that'll be cool. Hi, I'm live. Hi, Frederick. And Japan. How's it going? Things are rough in Japan, too. Hey, John, I'm going to be in Hong Kong next month. I don't know if you're going to be over. I exit quarantine July 12th, and I'll be in Hong Kong pretty much the rest of the month. Houston, in front of Minnesota. Geography, I don't get it. So this is the World War II Memorial. 21 days. John, I thought there was I thought they were lowering the, oh, we'll see. I thought there were ways to lower that. But yeah, and the problem is finding a hotel where you can stay with a family and not go insane. I'll chat with you later. Find a way to do it. So there's like the guys here with the little colonial hats. Hey, West Virginia. Welcome to Washington, D.C. We're underneath the Washington Monument. If you guys checked out my YouTube, I put up a picture. There was a fire behind the Vice President's house this morning at a Vietnamese restaurant. A Sprouts restaurant caught fire. I don't know how Sprouts catch fire, but there was a fire at a Vietnamese restaurant called Sprig and Sprout. Hawaii is here, brah. But Hawaii, so there are 48 states, which were the 48 states at the time, plus the territories, Alaska, Hawaii, Virgin Islands, Philippines, Guam, all the other District of Columbia. So Hawaii is a pillar there, though technically at the time it was not a state, but it is represented. Here, if you go into the museums or into a restaurant, you have to wear a mask. Outdoors, if you haven't had the shot, you're supposed to wear a mask. About 50% of the public have had the shot. About 80% of the public are not wearing a mask. So you can do the math. It looks that way, Sue, but the camera angle sometimes lies. That's the thing about when I ride the bikes. You guys are always like, oh my God, you're gonna die. But the camera actually makes it look a little bit scarier than it is. So we're gonna come up here to the Washington Monument, then we're going up to the Capitol. So John actually, John's still here. John's got a co-living, co-work space set up in Thailand where people can live and work on the beaches. Well, not near on the beach, but you know, near the beaches in Thailand in like a co-work, co-living arrangement. So if you guys are following John M. Ho, he'll tell you about how you can do your remote work from the other side of the world. John, are like most of the people in your place Guilos, or what are they? No, in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is kind of like the American version of Thailand. No, there's a lot of expats in Chiang Mai, if I recall. Yeah, we're gonna be in Hong Kong soon. Actually, I actually have some paperwork I have to do when I get home. I was kind of hoping it would rain today, because if it was raining, I would be forced to take care of all the paperwork I got to deal with for Hong Kong. But instead, there were a bunch of fire trucks went by the house, and I just was like, oh, I gotta go watch the fire trucks. The White House is over there. It's currently empty. Does he have a body double? Let's put it this way. The president and the first lady, for that matter, both have a Secret Service agent that at a distance could be mistaken for them. For example, there is a Secret Service agent for Joe Biden who is about the same height, slightly bald, and he sometimes gets off the helicopter first. So you see that, and you're like, "Oh, that's Joe Biden." And then you look again, and you're like, "Actually, no." Same is true with the First Lady. There's a female Secret Service agent who at a distance, through hazy glasses, whatnot, you would say, "Oh, that's her." But then when you look at the picture later, you're like, "No." I've actually been fooled by the Biden's guy once or twice. So here we go. Let's see what we got over here. So there is the White House, folks. And let's zoom in. Haps has an amazing zoom. There you see the construction that's going on the south lawn. That's the plywood and green. That's right where the helicopter normally lands. That's why the helicopters had to be moved. No sniper at the moment that I can see, but sometimes you can see them. In fact, my video yesterday, you saw snipers. That's the ellipse. That's where they're landing the helicopters now. He landed yesterday and took off. But you get a really good view of the construction that's ongoing there. All right, let's go up. So I've pointed out this before. You see this like landscaping wall? Yeah, it's not landscaping. It's actually a security wall. A guy like 40 years ago drove a truck up to this base of the Washington Monument and threatened to blow up the Washington Monument. So when they did some repairs, they put this little wall here, and it looks like, oh, that's just normal landscaping. But no, it's actually an anti-vehicle wall designed to keep vehicles from coming up to the base of the Washington Monument. Hey, Kentucky. $555 feet. It has survived attacks by aliens. It's survived attacks by Spider-Man. So that's the African American History Museum, Department of Commerce, EPA. The Trump Hotel is back there. But he's actually trying to sell it, apparently. The Trump Corporation has decided to try to market the hotel, sell it off. Hey, Spike, how's it going, mate? Let's go over this way. Not my kid. My kids are in school, John. They're back to school. This is like one more week of school, I think. We got a police car out in the middle of the mall. What's he doing out there? Interesting. He's got his lights on. We'll go out there and check that out. And back over that way. There's your Lincoln Memorial. And the White House is now behind the trees. And the Jefferson Memorial, I can't see it from this side. Let's just go blast. Let's go this way. Hello, Florida. Yeah, we went back after Easter. Our school went back. Our school was hybrid, 1 week on, 1 week off. And after Easter, they went back to full time. It had the benefit that our school is a very small number of students and a very large campus. So, like my oldest son, half of his classes are in a gymnasium. Let's see, where can we go? It's actually quite humid. It's cold. It's cool. It's only about 70 degrees, but it's like 100% humidity. I'm actually sweating a little bit, even though it's only 70 degrees. God, it's gonna be hot this summer. Oh. Well, if it was a foreign land, I wouldn't have to pay taxes. Yeah, John, well, we'll be back in Hong Kong in a few weeks. We're going to land in Hong Kong, be so excited, and then they're going to put us in a hotel and lock the door. Lock the door for whatever, a couple weeks until we'll be allowed to get out in public. So, it's going to be pretty crazy. Yeah, John, they are. You know, I was biking. The monuments, the Washington Monument is closed. The Lincoln Memorial is open. Jefferson is open. But if you have to go inside, they're closed. Vietnam just dropped their quarantine to 7 days for vaccinated people. 87%, it feels that way. He's got some big rocks. Yeah, we're gonna... I've already told the kids that the bandwidth won't support gaming in the hotel room, and they're like ready to kill me. I was like, you guys are gonna read in books and write poetry. And just like, you're gonna die, Dad. There's a group of daycare kids over there. That's something you don't see in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, there's almost no daycare. And the reason is that for like $600 a month, you can have a nanny full time, live in your house. So the idea of like daycare is just kind of a foreign concept. Another red light. This one's a little longer. Food trucks aren't out yet. I'm actually kind of hungry. So here's a list of all the things you can go and see. Arts and Industry closed, African Art closed, Sackler closed, Castle closed, Freer closed, Printing and Engraving closed, Holocaust Memorial open, Natural history closed. American history open. Sculpture garden open. Refreshments closed. National Gallery West open. National Gallery East closed. Ulysses Grant open. Capitol closed. So yeah, it's kind of a mix. Most of the stuff that's outdoors or big or not that interesting, it's kind of, they can let you go in, but the stuff that's the more famous museums are all closed. Are the vending machines in Hong Kong different? Yes. First of all, they use octopus cards, which are your subway transit cards. I mean, I don't think I ever paid cash in a vending machine in Hong Kong. And then they've got all sorts of weird drinks too. But you can also buy some cool stuff in vending machines. You can buy like SIM cards, you can buy batteries for your phone, you can buy other weird stuff. It is kind of empty. So we're gonna make our way over. There's this police car in the middle of the mall, which is a bit sus, to use my son's terminology from the game Among Us. Man, there's these like lots of flying bug things coming out of the trees. Japan has a lot of crazy vending machines. Hong Kong has a few, but not quite the same level as Japan. Yeah, John, it is. It looks closed every day. That's the Department of Agriculture over there. That's the only like non-museum-y building on the mall. Huh. Pizza, I haven't seen one of those yet. I remember New York used to have French fry vending machines. Those were kind of cool. Hey, Yorkshire. So the Capitol is up there. It looks deceptively close. The reality is the Capitol is at about 1st or 2nd Street, and right now I'm at 12th Street, and it's a good mile and a half of a walk. Hey, man. This grass is very green. This grass was fenced, I think, and I think they didn't let any humans on it until recently. So they watered it, kept it free of humans, and it's quite lush. But there's other parts of the mall that are pretty beat up. Very strange siren coming. It's a police car coming. But it's a siren I'm not used to hearing. Uh-oh, there's more of them over here. Something's going on. I think the police car just went in the tunnel. That's why it sounds so weird. Not sure what that is all about. Ooh, this is cold, smelly air. Some sort of air vent. Mildewy, moldy air. That's the Smithsonian Castle. What are those crane things? The cranes? There are actually cranes. They're working on the Air and Space Museum, renovating the Air and Space Museum. If that's the cranes you're asking about, those are actually sky cranes. Hey, how's it going? Looking for the noise. I was looking for the noise. I must have that dog instinct. Oh, we're gonna go past a spy camera here. One of the police mega cameras, probably hooked into an AI system that's gonna like facial recognition. Oh, there's a few of you, Hannah. There's a few people who are watching on haps.tv. Haps is a live video streaming app, which is actually pretty cool if you want to see different parts of the world. You guys can download the Haps app. They actually pay you. You can actually get paid for broadcasting, which is kind of cool. So we just keep walking up. That's the Smithsonian Castle. Yeah, John Ho is here. He's the Thailand Haps broadcaster, YouTuber, Twitter, or whatever. You guys can see his content all over social media if you want to know what it's like to live in Thailand. And John actually has a place you can stay. That's the natural history. That's like dinosaurs and bugs and all sorts of cool stuff like that. Hey, John, if you're still around, when are you going to come visit Washington, D.C.? When are you going to fly over? Those cranes, they sometimes move. It's actually, I think today, a lot of construction is suspended because there's going to be a huge storm this afternoon. There's also cranes up at the Rayburn building, or at the Cannon building on Capitol Hill. Construction. Because like I came down on my bike down Mass Avenue, which you guys have seen has always had construction, and they weren't working today. And I looked at the weather forecast, and we have like heavy thunderstorms starting about 3 o'clock. So those cranes aren't moving yet, they're not doing much. Yeah, the museums are free here, John. Yeah, John, so you guys can go live and work in John Ho's co-work, co-living space over in Chiang Mai, Thailand, where you can just kick back and eat cheap Thai food and drink cheap Thai beer. Because I mean, hey, we're all working remotely, so why not work remotely somewhere cool? Now I'm starting to think maybe I should have Thai food for lunch. You're here right now, RK. We're down here on the mall. We're just past the Smithsonian Castle and the Natural History Museum. This is a protest tent that's been here for like a decade. Technically, there's a little thing. You can't like just come and set up something on the National Mall unless you're protesting. And when you're done protesting, you have to leave. Well, these guys found a little loophole. They said, what if we protest 24 hours a day? And they're like, well, I guess okay. So they have been they've been occupying this land on a protest permit 24 hours a day for the last decade. Hey, it works. It's called David's Tent. It's an evangelical tent. John's co-living space is kind of like a WeWork for living. I don't really know if it's a hostel or I don't know how it's set up. But if you watch some of his broadcasts, he'll explain more how it works. I think it's just got their first person staying there. It just opened, so it's brand new. Looks pretty posh too. John knows what he's doing. Yeah, so this is David's tent. I can hear music inside. I am very annoyed that there are no food trucks because I could really go for a hot dog. Hey, London, how's it going? Have I heard any booms this morning? No. It's a pretty quiet day, to be honest. I heard sirens. Oh, that crane is moving. You guys were asking, this crane in the front, it just moved because I saw the wires just get taut. I actually have to call London today. I have 2 calls to make to London today. I gotta cancel an airline ticket and I gotta renew my Arsenal tickets. So busy day later today. John, I'm gonna be there for about a month. I stream on YouTube, Great Southern, so, but usually when I stream on YouTube like this, I'm streaming through the HAPS app, because right now, technically this is streaming on HAPS, Twitter, and YouTube simultaneously. So I've got viewers on Twitter, I've got viewers on YouTube, and viewers here. And you can identify them by the little mark in front of their comments. I think the red ones are YouTube's, the blue ones are Twitter, and the ones with no mark are the people who are on HAPS. Euromeister's in London. I actually have met Euromaestro. We met in Paris a couple years back. God, it's 4 years, 2016. So in 2016, I was in France for the Euro 2016 soccer tournament, and we went to Paris and we met up with Euromaestro. I didn't get to meet Chantel, but I did also meet Claire Waddington in Paris. And those are some of the big broadcasters out of Paris. Great Southern, yeah, I'm very active on YouTube. And, with Periscope basically dying and Twitter, this broadcast should be on Twitter, but I don't know if Periscope is still simulcasting. I'm not sure what's up with that. I like Periscope a lot, as you guys know. I had tens of thousands of followers there, but Twitter didn't like it. C'est la vie. This is the weird thing. There are the dead birds. There are dead birds all over DC lately. Yeah, you see this? I don't know what's going on, but there's been there's been reports of many dead birds. Maybe they're eating bad cicadas. I don't know what it is, but I see dead birds daily now. So that is the Air and Space Museum, which is going to open in about 2 or 3 weeks, I think, but it's only half of it. And over here is the National Gallery of Art. I was in here last week. You guys can go back in my YouTube channels. I gave you guys a tour of the National Gallery of Art. So John's watching from Periscope now, testing. Okay, so I am on Periscope. We are now at about 5th Street, 5, and we're going up to about 2nd or 3rd. There seems to be a protest up at the Capitol. Yeah, just out for a walk. Doo-doo-doo. Kind of hungry. I don't know why I'm so hungry. I went to bed about 8:30 last night. As John will attest, when you have children, probably one of the greatest things you can possibly do for your own sanity is to fall asleep when the kids fall asleep. You wake up 12 hours later and you're like, I can rule the world! And after about 2 hours of dealing with your kids, you're like, I want to die! 15-second delay, okay. Hey, have a good time. Thanks for watching. Here's another one of those cameras. Those spooky government cameras. Yeah, I mean, they're dying, but there's an abnormal number of birds dying. They actually did a story in the paper about it about a couple days ago, that the wildlife people are actually investigating because there's an abnormal number of birds that have been dying. And it's actually kind of concerning them. They're not really sure what is going on. One more block and I will show you where a historic meeting took place. A meeting that changed the fate of the universe. Well, at least one cinematic version of the universe. Okay, what's this? 4th Street. The other day I filmed the motorcade going to FEMA. I was standing right over there and the motorcade went right past me and I got a pretty good shot of the motorcade. I was trying to get a shot with the Capitol in the background, but I just didn't get it the right way. I gotta do a bear thing here on this pole. There's a protest going on. There's a bunch of blue flags up there. So we're gonna go up to that protest and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, they gotta do a bear scratch. My back, I got an itch on my back. There we go. Shows only 6 viewers on Periscope. That's rando. But I guess it's just such a dead app. I wonder if I'm live on Twitter. I'll have to check that. Boy, this grass is very lush and green, isn't it? I saw 2 motorcades last week. Both of them, I actually got a really good view of Biden. In one of them, he was actually waving out the window because there was this big group of kids and tourists right next to me, and they were jumping up and down, and so he like waved out the window. A lot of us tried to move to Twitch, but the Twitch was such an established universe ecosystem. We didn't get very much support from Twitch headquarters. They wouldn't help us with things like usernames and other streaming requests, but Haps was very open to helping everyone. Hey John, this is a Chinese protest, man. All the characters in Chinese. I think this is a Taiwan protest, John. Need your help deciphering these characters up here. All right, guys, I told you that the fate of the universe was tied to this tree right here. Let me go show you. For those of you who are well versed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America was out running laps around the monument and he kept saying, "On your left, on your left." The guy who he's saying that to eventually became Falcon, and he was sitting here at this tree when Steve Rogers came up and shook his hand and introduced himself. This tree is where Falcon met in America, and the fate of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was set. A few moments later, Black Widow pulled up right here, picked him up and drove off. So if you guys watch Captain America Winter Soldier, that opening scene of Steve Rogers running around the mall, you will see that tree. Told you, the fate of the universe. The fate of the universe was all dependent on that. John, what do we got going on here? Is this a Taiwan protest? Can you make out those characters, John? Or is it too far away right now? So, free Tibet. I think it's a Tibet protest. John, what are these guys protesting? Just like Hong Kong used to be. Well, Taiwanese were protesting the other day that they wanted inclusion into the World Health Organization. This, on the other hand, I think this is just a freedom for Uyghurs, free for Tibet, free from China. I think the Human Rights for China, China Democracy Party. So, this is a protest. Yeah, this is an anti-communist rally. I think these are Taiwanese. The Taiwanese have been very active lately. They've been protesting a lot, especially the World Health Organization thingy. They want full inclusion. Is that what he... John, did he just say what I think he said? I think I just heard Xi Jinping's name. Good luck with that. They were screaming freedom in China, democracy in China, human rights in China. I think they were saying something about Xi Jinping, but I didn't get that. So we're gonna head up to the Ulysses Grant Memorial, and then we're gonna take a break, get a bike, and probably head home. Oh, some ducks. Well, half of it was in English and half of it was in Chinese. So I did okay with the English bits. Wow. So I got a low battery warning. Apps really does eat through the battery, doesn't it? Hello. Pretty quiet day up here. So this is like a tour group. This is the biggest change we've seen here in Washington over the last year, is the return of the tour groups. We've had intermittent tourists, not a lot, but in the last month, suddenly huge groups of tours, like a busload of tourists, have returned. So things are good. Those girls are going ape because there's some baby ducks over there. So. And up at the Capitol. The House and Senate are not in session at this moment. Flags are down over both chambers. I don't even think the House is in town. I think the House is out. I'm not sure if the Senate is around. So we're gonna go over here to the center. Our phone's about to die. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I've been in worse places. I've been in worse places. All right, guys. I told you we'd bring you up here to the Capitol, and I did. But now it's time for me to bail. My phone's about to die. I'm gonna go make a YouTube video in 4K. If you guys follow later today, you'll see a video of everything. A lot of what we've been walking through in full 4K. Thanks a lot for your hiking with me. Feel free to click on any ads that pop up.